Boom, we're back. The TNEC cast, episode 46. So before I say anything else, happy anniversary. We're a little bit late. Forgive us. No excuses. Just forgive us. We hit a year. It was actually February 1.
Hmm.
We were talking about that, and so thank you. We made it a year. We still going. We got no plans of. Only plan that we have is just I would say revamping, reinventing, just keeping. This train is still going to keep on moving. So thank you to everybody. And speaking of thank yous, why don't you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe so we can thank you for doing that as well. And the same people. So my brother Alan, Sarita, Pop, Jackie. Thank you guys for always
Thank you
commenting,
for
holding
the
us down.
support.
And Kyle always comments and
Yeah.
holding us down. We need some. You guys don't stop. Keep holding us down, please. But we need some other people. Come on, y'all. Talk to us, please. But like I said, episode 46. This is just amazing that we made it this far, and we just keep getting better and better and better. Mr. Cooper, how you feeling, sir?
One, I want to say that I apologize for lying. I said last episode will be the last episode I'll be not a father. And my daughter is still in the oven. All right, my bad. I am so sorry. Hopefully this is the last podcast that I do not have a baby screaming in the background. But yeah, I'm doing great. Also, I emphasize winning the day often, and to say that we got done with 45 episodes while being a coach, while being an athlete, while having the Rona, out of the entire 52 weeks, I'll call that a win any day. That's a win any day. Consistency wins. So, this year we're going to work for 46 and so on and so forth. So, yeah, thank you guys for sticking with us and commenting, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Once again, if you have any content ideas, hit us up, right? So this episode is going to be talking about prep, because we were talking about how many athletes are going into prep, and it's already February. It's almost competition season, so we're going to talk about how you prepare for prep, coming from a coach's perspective and also from an athlete's perspective. So Isaac, go ahead, brother.
Cool. So, like I always say, we were talking, what we're going to talk about. So at first when we were talking about, I was like preparation, you know what I mean? And then we kind of like, okay, how are we going to talk about it? Which, as Kay said, it came from how we were talking about so many of us are getting ready to go into prep. And I jokingly says like, damn, I'm the last one. Because even though Sarita and I are going to get on stage around the same time, hopefully still at the same show, she gonna go and prep a little bit before I do. So it's still like, it's like, whoa, we just kind of like taking that. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's like the preparation, so I'll talk about it from, from the coach's side, right? So I have several different athletes, all different levels. Because even just because you're a pro, there's different levels of pro, like there's all different levels. And, I say number one for me personally is how long I've had you. So the Dariuses, the DJs, Sarita Court. I've had them all over a year now. Some of them a little bit more over a year. Darius is freaking 2 years now. So I know their bodies. So there's certain things that we don't need to talk about because they kind of just know. Like I don't worry about the gym with any of them. I know well, and shoot, all of them is posting from the gym anyway. So I know they're in the
Mm-hmm.
gym. So I'm not worried about, the working out. I see them and talk to them all enough to know, what's going on. They're checking in and doing all the things. So that group, while someone do like to stress me out, I'm like, okay, it's cool. We know we're gonna go into prep. We're gonna do everything, and it's like I'm still coach. But now, while the plan is laid out, I'm more of a guide
Mm-hmm.
versus a. Now, don't get me wrong. There's parts where I still got to be that, but for the most part, it's more of a guide. So my preparation for them is a little bit different. It's more about we're thinking about what shows, with Serena and DJ, it's about what actually, and Courtney as well, which categories are we going to do, things like that. So we kind of know how to attack, how we need to do, our nutrition. Do we need to come in looking a little bit fuller? Do we need to come in look a little bit leaner? All of them are doing a lot less cardio than they were doing, last year before, because now they've been in the sport, so their bodies are changing. So now I got another group. I got a few people that are, pro card hunting right now, you know, in that group, that's the exciting group. And I say it like that because now that's what challenges you as a coach. Now I'm trying to figure these people out. So I got some people that have been on stage before. Some people's going to be their first time. Like we have, Jen in Jersey. She's going to be on the stage 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So she came to us, went right into prep. Thankfully, she was ready. Long story short, she kind of had a situation with a previous coach, good friend of mine, a friend of hers back home. Reached out. I said, say no more. So with her, she's in prep. So now can't count her in the preparation side because we're in it. But with them, it's now I really have to figure out, this is again from the coach's side, I gotta figure out these people. I gotta figure out what makes them go. I gotta figure out what makes them stop. I gotta figure out, are they somebody that I can just give them the plan and let them go? Are they somebody I gotta hold their hand, or is it somebody in between? Um, but it's all about preparation. And what prepared me for that is all the coaching I've done, being an athlete, everything like that. Each person, I kind of get to know different little things where, again, we're human. So are we different? Yes. But guess what? At the end of the day, we still have more similarities than differences. So you start to kind of pick up little patterns. You start to, pick up these, different things. So what we do, because there's a lot of people that I got, meetings scheduled with that are getting ready to go into prep, and a couple of them are first timers. So it's a lot different. It is more of me answering questions and me talking to them versus where, with the DJ is just a conversation. Like, okay, how are we feeling? What are we looking like? Where we say, and I'll give you that's where Kyle and Kyrie are now. It's more of because they've been together so long since 2019.
Yeah.
So it's more of a conversation and don't get that twisted and think that there's not still coaching going on. Because if the coach has done their job, that athlete's learned a lot. So so that conversation is much different versus, so what's going to happen show day? I expect that from an athlete that's never been on stage. If Kay asked me that, as my little brother, I would give him a stone cold stunner. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what's going to happen on show day. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that preparation is understanding. Like, so as a coach, you have to be patient. You have to be patient because people, a lot of nerves start to get into this. Because if you've never, as an athlete, you've never done this, this is all new. So it's like a 2-year-old, and well, shoot, Kyrie, you get have a child. When a kid first starts to walk and starts to really be able to explore, what's hard for us to remember as adults, everything is new to them. Mm-hmm. That's why they're always so amazed and they want to, what's this? So it's the same thing with the athlete. Oh, wow. Like, shoot, they're a little bit in. This might be the first time I've ever been that lean. So wait a second, all these different things. So my job is to tell them about all the cool stuff, but I also need to prepare them for the other stuff. Prep fog, forgetfulness, being tired, being hungry, there's all the different things that you got to sacrifice. Well, look, you're in a family or a friend group that goes out a lot. That don't really coincide with with being a bodybuilder. It just doesn't, because you have to say, it's easier to say no before you're at the place than when you are at the place. Again, preparation. So just don't go. Like, for example, if I was going to go to the pie shack and it's all pumpkin pies and I'm, 3 weeks out from a show, that's an extra no. That's not just a regular no. That's an extra no. Because I'm even more hungry. I'm like, well, I'm looking good. This will fit. Because, I'm going to tell myself, Kyrie won't laugh. Yep. I was just going to fill me out. You know what I mean? So that's the lies. And any athlete that's watching know what I'm talking about. That's the lie that we tell ourselves. It's not a lie because it does kind of fill you out, but it also fattens you up a little bit. So at the end of the day, I know I kind of vamped a little bit, but that preparation is important, because if you don't, and I know that's really a redundant statement, because if you don't think preparation is important, I mean, that's just, I can't conceptualize that with you. But so with preparation is, are you getting the proper information then are you disseminating the proper information? So what do I mean by that? So I'm getting everything. I'm getting all the feedback from the athlete, especially if I grew that athlete, which is the best position to be in. So now when they're in prep, gosh, what Kyrie and I were talking about earlier, so their ceiling's a lot higher. I don't gotta sit there and be like, damn, all right. So because especially for somebody that's not like tiny, I don't want to. I really don't. I'm not trying to have him anywhere near 1,000 calories. You see what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, I still need to keep you fed and keep you fueled. Here's what sucks for you. Now we got to do a lot of cardio. And so that those are the the different the different things to get that body right. So that's where where the information is. I got to figure out your work rate. I gotta see everybody's level of intensity is different. And when I say that, their perception of it, because there's a lot of people that I've had this happen where they told me, man, I go so hard in the gym. I was like, oh yeah, great, dot, dot, dot. And we go to the gym and I'm like,
that's it.
Like, and the thing is, some people think that's about the weight. It's not about the weight. You can tell when look. So when Kyrie and I were working out, we're doing the arm thing and everything like that. So you knew, okay, we're working. You can tell by the form. You can tell by the focus. You can tell by the faces somebody's making. When you see somebody just kind of that's not, so all these things go into preparation. You have to know how to take all this stuff, right? All this shit that I just, darn it, all this stuff that I just said, take it. And now to each athlete, so no matter the level, no matter how long I've known them, I still have to have all that information. Now I feel like a waiter, I have to have prepared it in a way that each athlete can digest it. And not everybody's going to get it the same. That's why as a coach, I have to be on my game. I have to be prepared. I have to know, obviously if they're doing an NFF show, that makes it a lot easier for me. I know all the ins and outs. I know a lot about a lot of these organizations, but now they're doing an organization that I have not done or I don't have any familiarity with, or I don't even, at the scariest, I don't even have somebody that I can like directly, when I say directly talk to, I'm not like I got to talk to another person to get to the other person. I mean, somebody I can directly call up, text, whatever. Now it's like, oh, crap, I got to go learn that. You see what I'm saying? But it's my job as the coach to understand that. Now, don't get me wrong. You're an adult. You need to prepare and you need to understand when you're going to do that show, all these different things. You need to look and research too. So it's not just my job to do your job for you, but it's my job is to be ready to have that conversation and be the knowledgeable person. Or if I can't be the knowledgeable person, depending on that question, having that access to that knowledgeable person. That's about being prepared. So it's okay. As you get ready as an athlete, and because we talked about, so you're about a month and a half off.
Yeah.
I like, so here's how I'm going to word it. Kind of take us through the steps of mental preparedness. Is it the same now that it is a week before? Like kind of like take us on inside of that.
The week before prep or before competition?
Before prep, yeah. Before you actually go into full blown prep.
So me mentally, I think I expressed this to Kyle so many times. Just like I feel like Kyle is holding my leash before prep because how much I love prep. God, I love prep. I just hate eating so much food. So I feel like he's holding my leash as I'm like barking at a show of champions. Like, dog, like let me go. Like whatever show, like just please let me go. I'm ready to do 2 hours of cardio. So it's literally the same exact thing from 6 months out to 1 week out from contest prep. I still send check-ins every other week off season, just to be like, hey, am I getting too fat? Hey, this is what I'm eating. Should I bring it down? Should I bump it up? This is my training split. Like I called Kyle 2 weeks ago. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and we were just like sitting there talking about the new training split so we can prepare for prep. You know what I mean? Just so the frequency is nice. We do like a push-pull lower, rest, push-pull, and we, also not to give all my secrets out there. But I think it's also good to be a student as an athlete So you can be a great athlete and tag team with a great coach, and that wins championships. You can have a great coach, but if the athlete doesn't follow the plan, doesn't send check-ins, kind of disappear in the off season, gets really fat, and then 16 weeks out, he's saying like, "Hey man, I'm looking at this show. You ready to do this?" It's just like, no. I think ever since I got Kyle, I've sent check-ins at least, like, if it's not like prep time every other week or like 3 times in that 1 week, still like every other week, constantly. How am I looking? What do I need to improve on? Da 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 da. Also, going into the actual preparation for prep, you hit the nail on the head of increasing your baseline calories so you can actually pull down from something, right? So people in the off season really don't push the food, right? They stick at that 3,000 calories, the 2,800 calories, and say, I still want to hold my 6 pack. I don't want to get too chubby, da 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 da. Not realizing it's part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It really is part of the game. So also in the call with Kyle, hey, do you want me to increase my carb? Because we carb cycle, increase the carb up to 500, and then we can like build down from there. But you're just like, yeah, let's do that. Increase like your refill free meals, da 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 da. But it's all about that line of communication between the athlete and the coach. I think that's the main driving point into the preparation into prep. Because like literally like the preparation into preparation for the show, right? Because if the line of communication isn't there in the off season, I'm not saying you guys are doomed to fail, right? But the odds aren't in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's really no one there to kind of hold you accountable. You know what I mean? So, but mentally, it's pretty much the same. Oh man, I can't wait to get back on stage, dog. I cannot wait to get back on stage. And Kyle, and that's the thing, is like me and Kyle have this conversation often saying, hey, let's go. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I answered your question. I kind of rambled myself.
Because it's good to get different perspectives on how people prepare, because sometimes you look at people from the outside and you think they're always just always laser focused and everything like that, and there are people like that. There's some people that it's very, I would say, it's more methodical, so they need to have a month or two where they're almost acting like they're not a bodybuilder. Not saying that they're going full blown, but they're kind of just like whatever. And then, okay, now I know 4 months before prep starts, so now I'm going to do that. Everybody has a different mindset going into it. I think the one thing that all of us have in common is that we know we got to work.
Yeah.
And I think the easiest thing, no matter what side that you're on, is the gym. That's the easiest thing. Show up, work out. Because at the end of now at our level, it's a little bit different. Like, you can't go in there and mail it in. But early on, I'm just being honest. Activity is what you need. Now, when you're trying to get to the upper levels, that's where the difference becomes, because I know somebody's going to hear that. Oh, no, I did not say that. What I'm saying is, one, the gym is the easiest part, because at the end of the day, if you go in there and you are able to break down your muscle in some way, shape, or form, you've achieved something, because now your body has to rebuild that. Now, that doesn't mean go in there, text, do a couple BS sit-ups. I think I did it, because that's the same person that does that crap. Then they get, they don't place, or they don't do anything at the show, and they're wondering why. It's like, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
So I got to clarify. Make sure people don't go run with him. I just told me I can do this. But we kind of back to the whole point. Because I was just gonna say, because like myself, like right now, I have to keep my mind off of the stage, because then I want to start working for the stage. So what do I mean like that? That, like, if I start really truly thinking about the stage, I want to go into prep like right now. So I'm just thinking about putting muscle on. That's it. That's all I'm thinking about. So that's got to put muscle on. That's all I'm thinking about. Because that stage is waiting for me. I know that stage is waiting for me, so I'm not necessarily thinking about the stage. Because when I start, see, just talking about it right now is making me flip.
It's like I could go on a prep right now.
It's making me flip that switch. Well, no, because again, we're talking about preparation. I got to prepare my mind because I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. My strength, I know if I put my mind to it, I'm going to make it happen. That's also, unfortunately, a weakness because if I allow my mind, keyword allow, if I allow my mind to start wandering too close to the stage, I'm going to hurt myself because now I'm not going to eat quite as much. I'm going to work out a little bit. Just all these different little things. I'm going to start switching over to a prep mindset, and it's not going to optimize my muscle growth. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like, my mentality and my preparation. Because right now, everything is about, I got to grow muscle. I got to grow muscle. I got to grow muscle. And then if you want to do it, as, Kay was talking about, you want to do it without getting fat, you got to be patient. You got to be real patient.
It's right here, just waiting. Just
like, I mean, it's tough as my abs hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Because it's weird. So for you guys that aren't bodybuilders, it's like you go from a defined 6-pack, and then you just wake up one day and it's gone. I mean, it's still there, but it's not defined anymore. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like just you don't know the day that it happened. You just then you wake up and
like, put a hoodie at the gym. I'm fat. Don't look at me.
You won't show it no more, man. But again, it's all like that. But again, talking about preparation, you got to be prepared to do that. That's part of the importance of a reverse diet. Because now you're getting your hormones rebalanced. You're getting your mind rebalanced. Like giving your body a chance to heal. Ooh. So now, go ahead.
Ooh, I see. You're hitting on a lot of things I really want to talk about. I really want to talk about. I think reverse dieting, is just like one of those things where it's just like you can do either one, where you can like slowly increase your calories and stuff. Or you can eat as much just to get back to norm. Right? But there's a balance in between there. Right? So I'm more of like, I need to put on a solid like 15 pounds. Kind of like, not like stupid fast like this, but like I need to put on like 15 pounds so my hormones get back. So I can get to like a healthy standpoint so I can start my off season. Not get sloppy Oreos and stuff like that, but like bump up my calories and kind of go from there. And you're saying like reverse dieting as in slowly increasing your calories till you get to that. Like what level do you kind of be like, like.
So, oh God, this is such a good conversation. Because reverse dieting can mean a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a buzz term and all these different things. Because you just explained a way of reverse dieting. Because if it's controlled, so I would say you can replace reverse with controlled.
Yeah.
Because there's some people, again, first season, I ain't had nobody telling me about no reverse diet or nothing.
Nope.
I'm going down, and I just saw I shot up. Like in 2 weeks, I shot up 12 pounds. I was like, whoa, wait a second. Something, it just didn't, I was like, nah, then I was like, okay, let me chill, and I did, I got things back going the right way. But everybody's a little bit different, because the number one thing, because we got to assume not everybody's in our sport. The number one thing that you got to do is you got to say, okay, this is my last show of the season. That's number one. Because you can't do a reverse diet and you got to show in 2 months.
Yeah.
Definitely can't do you got to show in 2 weeks but you can't really do a true. I mean, now look, every coach is a little bit different. I'm going to say, okay, you got 2 untracked days. That's when tell people on, if they have a show coming up, I'm like, you got 2 untracked days. So Saturday after the show, eat what you want. Sunday, I'll tell you, don't go too crazy, but you can have a couple of entrapment, you know what I mean? Enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Then Monday, we right back on it. You get carbs again, yay. But with that being said, the reverse diet it's more about the controlling and knowing what your plan is. Again, it's about preparing.
Mm.
So when we're talking right now, we're laying out seasons. I know when my last show of the season is. We know when your last show of the season is. We know when a few other people kind of have these last shows. So it's like, okay, so now as you're planning certain things out, neither one of us is touching a reverse diet until around Christmas time, basically.
Hopefully.
So I know, hopefully. So it's so I say that to say that changes things. Because if you go, because see, this is where people get jammed up. So you get somebody that I wouldn't say it's a bucket list per se, but it's hey, I want to do one show, see how I like it, whatever,
Mm.
whatever. They do the show. They don't have a coach usually, and they do well, whatever, and they get addicted, but they didn't realize, and they eat like crap for a week or two, and they want to go get on stage again in 3 weeks, and they're like, wait a second. That's why it's important to prepare, have an understanding, because honestly, I don't think, as we brought it up, I don't think reverse dieting is talked about enough publicly because most athletes don't know what it is. Now, when I say don't know what, I'm not talking about going down the rabbit hole saying, well, you got to increase your mass. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the concept, because Kyrie talked about a concept of reverse dieting, But again, that's where if you have a good or a great coach, they're going to know how you need to reverse diet versus how somebody else needs to reverse diet.
Mm.
Because there's some people, you know, Susie won't mind. Susie's somebody that needs structure no matter what.
Mm.
She admitted, like we talked about it. So I'm learning everybody. That's just how a coach should be doing. You should be learning. So sometimes you let people have a little bit of freedom, and you see some people aren't good with the freedom. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with it is if you see it and you don't address it, now it becomes something wrong. Because now you're just letting that person run amok, and you're gonna blame them. Well, no, actually, guess what, coach? You didn't even try to reel that person in. So we know with her reverse diet needs to be very controlled, even if it's have a bad day. Have a bad day. Okay, now whatever that is, I know with her it needs to be controlled. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's where but it's about preparation, man. Like not enough people. I almost said you can't prepare enough, but that's a lie because some people. Oh my God, there's a term and I can't remember it. But basically, the long story short, you prepare so much that you just freeze up because all you worry about is preparing. You never take action. You know what I'm saying? Um, paralysis by analysis.
Mm.
So you're looking at everything. You're looking at everything. You've been planning to do a show for like the forever prep people. You've been planning to do a show for 3 years. You've been planning to go into prep for 3 years. There's a certain time, ready or not, here you go.
Yeah.
You got to go out there, but at the same time, you can't just hop off the couch. I'm going to become a competitor because you just it's like you go sign up, you get all excited. You know how people are. Oh yeah. NPC News, NFF, National Fit Federation.com. You go to all these, you go register for a show. You ain't getting that money back.
Yeah, you're just donating at that point.
Sign up for the membership because you see it tells you need a membership. Can't get that money back either. So now you stuck. So you want to go out there and embarrass yourself? You see what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta be prepared. Don't just. That's where you got to find that balance because there are times where you need to just go do. There's other times where you need to sit back. Okay, what's going on here? Let me analyze this. Is this something? Okay, cool. I need to be competing next year. I made my decision to compete in 2018 and didn't compete until 2019, till the fourth quarter of 2019. So I knew I was going to do it, and that was my decision because I was like, I tried to learn about the sport because I respected it because I knew as an athlete, coming from another sport, I knew what it takes to kind of, and as a trainer at the time, I knew I had an idea of what it took to get your body to a certain level. I knew it was tough. I knew it was tough. So I was like, man, let me learn. Let me do things like this. So Kari, tell me, we have to tell me, tell the audience a time where you failed to prepare and what the consequence was.
Me in high school. Hey, that's pretty much it. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see y'all next. Um, in like bodybuilding wise, if I failed to prepare. Oh man, listen, check me out. I'm a very nervous person, especially when it comes to like presentations and stuff. So more than enough, I'm over preparing. Think of a script, memorize the script, say the script in front of other people. Um, I can't really think of the time that I really didn't. Oh, I guess you can say my first prep because um, I moved from Japan to Texas and the money wasn't right. And whenever you start prep, you gotta make sure your relationships are right, your bank account looking nice, your hormones are looking nice. You gotta make sure you are healthy and in a nice prime spot so you can do this 16-week prep, right? Because dates ain't gonna happen. So if your wife don't love you, she definitely ain't gonna love you on prep. Your bank account, it's expensive. So paying for your coach and all that, you gotta make sure your money's up. And your health is gonna suffer because bodybuilding isn't healthy. So this is gonna get worse, right? So moved to Japan, young 22-year-old, 23-year-old, something like that. My money wasn't right. I told Kyle, I was like, hey man, I can't do it. You know, just a lot of growing up to do, coming back to the States. I was like, I can't do it, right? And then once I finally kind of got my footing right and everything, I hit up Kyle 7 weeks away from not show champions, Champions Untamed.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, because I was driving with my wife, I'm like, what if? I feel like every great thing started with a what if. What if I can pull this off? Right? So 7 weeks out, I hit up Kyle, hey man, why not? You know, I got my money right, let's do it. Right? So didn't really prepare, kind of just jumped in the pool. It paid off. You know what I mean? Another one was the prep in Saudi. That was a big what if. I hit up Kyle and I was like, well, no, what if, man?
I remember we was worried if you was gonna make it
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I came back 3 days before. You know? Like, that's scary. That is terrifying. I prepped for 16 weeks. You gonna tell me I can't compete? But yeah, it was more of just like, hey, like sometimes you just gotta jump. Right? So yeah, those are the only times I didn't prepare. Also, sidebar, you talked about activity levels, your activity level and all that good stuff. If this isn't for the first time competitors, you guys can sit down for a second. But for the second, third, fourth, career competitors, you want to look at the data from your previous preps.
Mm-hmm.
So going into last year's prep, the Show of Champions and Nationals, my activity level was not as high as it was in Saudi Arabia because I had to walk like a football field just to use the bathroom in Saudi Arabia. And here, just like everything is convenient. I can just, you know what I mean? So my steps weren't up. Saudi Arabia, I was averaging like 12,000 steps. Here, I'm averaging 5, 4. You see what I'm saying? So maybe that was because like that was the Texas Cup was the sharpest I've ever looked. That was sharp. That was a bad dude. Just because the activity level was up. So it's funny how people, even including myself, whenever you do the BMR calculator, they be like, how active are you? It's like, yeah, I'm extremely active. I get after it. It's like, hey, dum-dum. Hey, bump it down a level or two, right? So moderately active. So most of the time I'm sitting down at the desk at my job. And then I'm going to the gym. You know what I mean? I'm not a construction worker out there putting in work. So, one thing that I have to do this prep is get my steps in. Something simple, but I wouldn't have known that if I didn't prepare for this prep. I didn't do my homework. Hey, what worked? Last year, did I do okay? Sure. Could I do better? Now, what worked whenever I was winning? Activity level was up. Everything was just on 10. Roger that. Let's see if we can duplicate that. You see what I'm saying? So do your homework. And yeah.
That was a that was actually that wasn't good. That was great because that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Like your everyday activity plays such a huge role
Mm-hmm.
in prep. Well, I mean, just in
Well,
general,
yeah, weight loss activity. Like,
like
dog.
because when you're doing cardio, whether it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever, you burn those calories. Then within 5 to 10 minutes, your body ain't burning no more. So this is what the thing a lot of people don't realize. Your body eventually shuts off the calories burned. That's what a lot of people your body will stop burning calories. Because if it kept burning calories, guess what? Bye, you be you be up out of here. So a lot of people don't. Now it's up to you and your coach to figure out when you hit that mark. So when your coach has you doing 2 hours of cardio, you better get a real good explanation other than them just saying you're not working or we got to work harder. There needs to be get some science on that because you go on the stair machine at an X amount of level for 2 hours, which I hope people aren't really doing. Like I hear some of these horror stories, but the long and the short of it, your body, because the average person, your body actually cuts off about 30 to 35 minutes from burning calories. Now say the average person, depending on the kind of athlete you are, that number is probably a little bit higher just because of the way you are. I mean, excuse me, that time's a little bit longer just because of the way you've trained your body. But that's something that a lot of people don't realize. So they do all this cardio and they wonder, man, why am I stuck? You know how many people I've cut back their cardio and their weight loss instantly came right back because they came to me, they were doing all this stuff and they were jammed up. I said, okay, number one problem, you're doing, an hour and 15 minutes of cardio. You don't need to be doing that. So that's what I'm saying. Like the steps and all that stuff, extremely, extremely, extremely important.
I think that cardio one it's kind of a rough one, right? Because some people cardio like my steady state cardio, I'm in between like 140 and 160, beats per minute type
Mm-hmm.
deal, right? Other people might be like 120 to 140, right? So that also plays in a part of how long you do cardio for obvious reasons, right? So if you go hard, you know what I'm saying? Like 140 ain't going hard, right? You're not, that's like, you're not killing yourself as like an average 20, 30-year old man, woman. You're not killing yourself, right? You're just a slight jog. Um, but you do that 120, 140, you know, it's going to take you a little bit longer to burn the calories actually needed, right? That's something that I also learned, that free game. Oh man, this episode is full of free
I know,
game.
right? We,
Just like
we
yo, like, and monitor your heart rate, the handles, stuff like that. Little tricks. It ain't gonna be like 1,000% accurate. You know what I mean? Don't just like every 5 seconds, try to take your heart rate. But like,
do
it's something to
basically.
be nice consistent, because it's gonna keep you consistent. If it's consistently bad, it's still consistent,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go from there. But yeah, if you're doing 2 hours worth of cardio, that's nah. I don't know about that one, Chief. You
They
must
usually,
have been obese in the off season. Like
I mean,
you were a big boy.
well, not because something I'm extremely proud of. I have not, as a prep coach, had anybody that needs to do more than 60 minutes. And the people that even have even touched 60 minutes, it was like the last couple of weeks when we were just trying to
Yeah.
the last little bits out, but it was never, anything crazy. It's just as you learn, it's just as you learn and you realize every day I realize more and more cardio is just a tool.
Yep.
Cardio is just a tool. I'm 38. My ass ain't running like that anymore. I'm
Yeah.
not like this. I was talking with James about that. I was like, yeah, nah, you don't gotta worry about me running. Well, nah, because even I'm sitting at 185 right now, and I still feel heavy, still feel a little bit, like if I wasn't a bodybuilder, I'd definitely be 10, 15 pounds lighter. But I don't feel the same joint pain, pain, all these other things that I felt from running. So something that was doing a lot to make me healthy was also breaking me down.
Mm.
And it was also, I didn't realize it, keeping my cortisol levels higher than they needed to be from all that trauma that I was putting on my body. So another, piece of free game. Monitor those cortisol levels, man, because that affects a lot.
Hey,
That affects a lot.
recover. That's what
Yeah.
that's thing. That's what me and Kyle are going to like prioritize going into this. What we've been prioritizing it, just recovering. Right. It's hard taking those rest days. God knows it's hard. Right. It's just like I have to lock myself in my bedroom upstairs to keep me from like leaving the house. But it's absolutely necessary. And if you feel like you don't need a rest day, you ain't going hard enough.
That's
Like,
law.
hey,
That's
if,
law.
hey, you know what I mean? Like, go to your, perceived limit. But, like, if you ain't pushing that limit after every single, exercise, every single, like, training session, hey, man, if you ain't tracking your workouts, if you're not, practicing progressive overload, shout out to Kyle. He actually dropped some free gems on Toptimize's Instagram about progressive overload and different ways you can implement it and stuff like that. It's like the knowledge is out there. You just got to go find it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got, man.
This is another great episode. Another way to a great way to cap off a year. From all of us. What we can't wait to welcome the new TNEC baby into the
Right?
into the family. So I know next episode we're gonna hear some adventures in early fatherhood from Kyrie. So
Yep.
much blessings. To you and the wife with that. All I gotta say is like, comment, subscribe. Good.
Easy. Thank you guys for stopping in. And until next time, peace.